For the last 355 days, I have been living in the beautiful state of Florida. But in just 10 days, I'm packing up everything I own, throwing it in a U-Haul, and road tripping 17 hours to the state where they do everything a little bit bigger. Texas. Austin, Texas. That all sounds great, right? Moving to a new city. So what's the problem? Well, I'll tell you what the problem is. There's one major problem. When I moved down to Florida, I swore to myself that I would do these 3 things and cross them off my bucket list. Number 1, go parasailing off the Gulf of Mexico. It's like 5 minutes away from me. Number 2, to kayak on the crystal clear waters of Central Florida and see a manatee. Number 3, to go on this pirate ship and watch the sunset. Now, our problem might be a little bit more obvious now. I'm moving in 10 days and I haven't done any of these things. Completely procrastinated this, put this off into the last second. But that ends right now. Literally right now. Because we have an epic parasailing adventure lined up in like 30 minutes from now. The thing with that, I don't want to go alone. And there's 2 reasons why I don't want to go parasailing alone. Numero 1, I'm terrified of heights. Numero 2, I'm terrified of the ocean. And you might be saying, if you're terrified of the ocean and you're terrified of heights, why are you going parasailing over the ocean? It's a great question. So my goal is to find a stranger spontaneous enough to saying yes to floating 1,000 feet up in the air with me on a whim at 11 a.m. on a Monday. I couldn't tell you how this is gonna go, but we've gotta go right now. So we'll see.
Our goal right now is to find somebody. Let's go ask a bunch of random people if they want to go parasailing. I'm sure we'll be able to find somebody, right? I'm making this way harder than this needs to be. Here's the situation. I'm looking around. It's all families. We need to lock it in. We need to go find somebody.
And for the next several minutes, I'd go around and harass several beachgoers. And as time started to run out, I was losing hope.
I'm just getting turned down. I'm just offering people free parasailing. I'm like, nobody's biting. I tried calling the last Hail Mary, which was my dad. Didn't answer. I was coming into this real optimistic. I mean, the optimism was off the charts. I was coming down here thinking we are for sure getting somebody to come with us. Optimism is wearing off, and quick. I guess I'll go give it a shot for like another 15 minutes, hope for some luck. Maybe we get lucky and somebody says yes at the buzzer.
And as fate would have it, I'd ask one more person before I left, and that's when we met Juan.
Come on, baby.
Number 1 beach in America, baby. Clearwater, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah,
How you feeling though?
I'm nervous. Got that gut feeling, but I'm ready to go. I'm fired up.
And when Juan and I got to talking, he mentioned something that really caught me by surprise. He's homeless at just 25. So I wanted to sit down and get to know him a little bit better.
Lost my mom. Just been trying to, stay afloat ever since then. Trying to stay happy,
So what's it like just living without a home around here?
I mean, I finally feel free. Like, I feel free when I'm outside. I just would want somewhere safe that I know I can go every day, lay my head, shower, get clean, and then proceed on with my life.
What made you say yes to parasailing?
I'm not scared of any challenge. I've been out here all my life and I see all these people doing these crazy things and I've never done any of it. Also, I had dreams of being military personnel, so it's a good experience to jump out of the sky,
So just after 15 minutes of getting to know Juan, we were on a boat and heading out into the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. And I'd like to say I wasn't nervous, but that was not the case.
I'm definitely a little bit more nervous than I thought I'd be. And I'm seasick. How you feeling, Juan?
I'm just in the moment right now. We are live in the flesh.
Cool as a cucumber, Juan. That will be us in a few minutes.
And there it was. 15 minutes ago, Juan and I were complete strangers, and now we were floating 1,000 feet up in the air over the Gulf of Mexico.
Woo! Dude, we're high as shit right now.
That was officially our first bucket list item crossed off, and I'm glad I could have done it with a guy as cool as Juan.
It was good, man. It was good. My mind was somewhere else, though. The view was sick, but
Juan was way more relaxed than I was.
And as we watched the last group take off and continued to shred through the rocky waters, which were making me seasick, we finally arrived back to the docks of Clearwater, Florida, where it was time to say goodbye to Juan.
See you, Juan.
see you, brother.
So now that parasailing has officially been crossed off our list, kayaking with manatees is next up. Because ever since moving down here, everybody's told me you have to drive 2 hours up north to this place called Crystal River. And at Crystal River, you'll find the most beautiful natural springs in the entire country. Naturally, I was skeptical about this, but it took 2 seconds and one Google search to realize that Yeah, they were right. So after a year of procrastinating, my friend Mary and I packed our bags, headed up north, to see for ourselves. But first we stopped at Starbucks and encountered the worst drink on their menu.
I got a grande lavender oat milk latte. All right, I'm gonna try it. Just please try it. I can't have it. We have to go back.
It looks like sewer water.
Just try it.
Oh, that does taste. That
Like,
tastes awful. Let's just taste mine in comparison, so we can just see how good it tastes. Like, oh.
And after arriving and checking out the map, our goal was to go to the most uncharted territory. It's this green thumbtack, which only the locals know as the crack.
How are we feeling?
Feeling pretty good.
Feeling good?
Ready? Off we go. I'm already getting bit up. Ow.
And just 10 minutes into our adventure, we stumbled upon the very thing we drove 2 hours up to see. But Mary and I's adventure had just begun. As we followed a group upstream, we were still dead set on finding this mythical crack. It's so quiet. And without even knowing it, the crack had found us, and we are venturing deeper and deeper into uncharted lands.
So right now, unknowingly, we are going to the deepest part of this little river. Bugs are attacking us, and we're both hungry. There are fish flying out of the water right now.
The deeper we went, the weirder it got, until what I can only describe as the king of the crack told us that our journey had come to an end.
Our journey comes to an end right here. We're finding ourselves in the most narrow point of the crack, desperate for something to eat or drink.
You say that? We have a bottle of water.
And with that, our second bucket list item was now crossed off. And with only 10 days to pull off the improbable, this bucket list was now looking pretty possible. But this last bucket list item has been evading me my entire life. Because ever since I was a little boy, I've been coming down to this beach in Clearwater, Florida. And ever since I can remember, I've seen this ship sailing off the coast. And it always made me wonder what it would be like to be on that pirate ship. Well, now that I'm older, I can just go online and book a ticket. So that's what I did. It was $50 for Captain Nemo's pirate ship experience. It'd be leaving at 7 p.m. and you'd be able to see the sunset and have a few drinks, which all sounded great. But all this to say that Captain Nemo's pirate ship experience wasn't necessarily what I was imagining it to be. I guess what I'm trying to say is that Captain Nemo's pirate ship was for little kids. They did have a bar, which was nice, so I had a few drinks and I sat up top and watched as we cruised around the Gulf of Mexico. As we cruised on, it was obvious we were not getting a sunset, and it doesn't mean it wasn't fun. As the night went on, we cruised even farther out into the ocean. Dolphins were riding along right next to the ship as we were cruising, and I did make some friends with some of the parents on the boat. So making the most out of the experience, we pulled back into the docks by nighttime, and that was officially our third bucket list item completed. With just a few days left to spare, we did everything we wanted to do. Now, I don't know if there's necessarily a lesson to be learned from this video, but I guess if there was one, it would be you don't have to wait to do all the things that you've been wanting to do. Trust me, I know how corny that sounds, but it's true. It really doesn't have to be that deep. There doesn't have to be a massive lesson behind this, but I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.